So they all started laughing. And one of them went, the day you start your own design agency, pigs will fly.
Right.
And it was that kind of like light bulb moment of there's something in that. And it just stayed with me. As I said, this was 2 years prior to actually starting it. It just stayed with me. And I was toying with the idea of it. I was like, pigs will fly. That could be anything, you know, it needs something at the end of it just to like confirm exactly what it is.
Right, yeah.
So it's like Pigs Will Fly agency, Pigs Will Fly. Anyway, I landed on Pigs Will Fly Studio. And then I was like, that's really long.
James, welcome to the coffee break with Hebb&Griff. Would you like to tell us? That sounds so forced now.
I know, yeah, it feels like we're faking it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so...
can you say it as good as you did before?
I'll try.
Or even better?
So yeah, my name's James Berridge, and I am the creative director and founder of Pigs Will Fly Studio, or PWF Studio for short. And we're a full-service design agency based in the Midlands.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
I don't know. I think I prefer the other one. All right. Yeah, how long we known each other? That's what we were talking about when we realised we weren't recording.
Yes.
Yeah, we spoke a while ago. Didn't we? I can't remember how we met. We just had a bit of a meeting. And
I've known of you guys for ages, based in other agencies. And as we were talking about off camera, you know, we know certain similar people and stuff like that. Yeah, but the first time we met was actually at a networking event.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
was it the one in Lincoln?
Lincoln.
Yeah.
And that's when we first met. And obviously I've known of you guys and the stuff that you do. And I think it's really, really good.
Stop it.
and yeah, I mean, hopefully in a couple of weeks we're going to be collaborating together, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. The first question I've got written down is why did you choose Pigs Will Fly as your name?
Yeah.
What led you to that? What's the story behind that?
So there's actually, I think there's a good story behind this. So the name of the company came 2 years before the company was actually formed.
Right.
All right.
Which I don't know if that's, I think that's a bit weird. But yeah, basically it started, as all great brands do, in a pub.
Yep.
So I met with a group of friends that I've known since I was like 11 years old, and it's one of those, it's standard, you know, you've not seen them for like, you see them like once a year, so you go around the table, you know, what are you up to? Oh, I've just bought a house. What are you up to? Oh, the missus has left me or whatever. And it got to me and I was like, oh, I'm thinking of starting my own design agency. And they all just started laughing.
Right. Supportive,
which sounds really mean, but you go understand, they've known me since I was 11, and during that time period, I've probably had 101 different business ventures.
Right, okay.
Whether it be, you know, selling sweets at school or car wash or, you know, t-shirt printing. So they've heard this all before, and they're sick to the back teeth of it. So they all started laughing. And one of them went, the day you start your own design agency, pigs will fly.
Right.
And it was that kind of like light bulb moment of there's something in that. And it just stayed with me. As I said, this was 2 years prior to actually starting it. It just stayed with me. And I was toying with the idea of it. I was like, pigs will fly. That could be anything, you know, it needs something at the end of it just to like confirm exactly what it is.
Right, yeah.
So it's like Pigs Will Fly agency, Pigs Will Fly. Anyway, I landed on Pigs Will Fly Studio. And then I was like, that's really long. You imagine typing into Google pigswillflystudio.com or James at Pigs Will Fly Studio. It's, you know, you're going to get bored. So I was like, how can I condense that? So condense it down to PWF Studio. And what we found is that works really, really well because it gives us that versatility.
Yeah.
So if we're going into kind of like a very corporate setting, boardroom style scenario, we go under PWF Studio.
Right, okay.
Whereas if it's kind of like a real creative, like marketing led environment where pigs will fly all day long. So it gives us that versatility and that flexibility as well.
Yeah,
That's great to have something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love the iconography that you've got with it all as well.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like you're a design agency, so you need good branding yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you've nailed it. It looks very cool.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Although, I think your website needs to come with a jump scare warning.
Yeah, it was
because-
the intention to just scare the shit out
It
of
was-
people.
when you hit the menu.
Yeah, we had our speakers pretty loud yesterday, and it scared the crap out of us.
Just keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then he kept doing it every time I pressed it.
It's really funny because like you'll be on the phone to people and they're clearly like checking you out and you hear it in the background. And we probably do need to just turn the volume down.
I'll make it louder.
Louder, yeah. It's like a big like pig klaxon.
It's like the media encoder sheep.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the softwares that we use, the media encoder, if something goes wrong with it.
Oh,
it
the
does sound-
chime.
No, it does the sound of a sheep or a goat or something.
Are you
Yeah.
joking?
So like we've had it where we've been recording a podcast before, haven't we,
Yeah.
or something, and I've had something exporting, and then all of a sudden in the background you're like, meh. You're like, "Ah."
But we just ignore it and start raising it.
Don't question it.
Keep going, yeah.
Was that a sheep? What are you on about?
You must be hearing. Just gaslight other people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you worked in other jobs before then, before
Yeah.
starting your own agency. What's led you, like, what's the journey been career?
Yeah, great question. So I came into the industry at 16 on an apprenticeship. So this is kind of like all I've known. And straight out of school after GCSEs, went into an apprenticeship environment and worked for a design agency in Gainsborough. And, you know, as soon as I walked through those doors, it was kind of like, never kind of like knew that, I kind of always knew that I wanted to get to that stage at some point in terms of like owning my own agency, but like I always knew that was kind of like very kind of like end goals. But started as an apprenticeship there, and then after the apprenticeship they then offered me a job of junior designer. Worked there for a fair few years, probably about 5 years, and then moved from a design agency to an in-house designer for an interior fit-out firm in Nottingham, which was an absolutely brilliant company. Great people. Unfortunately, it went bust due to kind of like decisions upstairs. But yeah, I worked there for probably about 4 years, so kind of understood what it's like to work in a design agency, but also learned what it's like to work as a internal designer as well.
Right, okay.
Because although it is the same role, the environments are completely different. So that was really interesting.
When you say internal designer, you mean like an in-house?
An in-house,
site,
yeah, exactly that, yeah. So kind of did all their kind of like presentation documents and stuff like that, and animations. So that was really, really interesting.
How did you find that compared to like a design agency? Like, 'cause obviously you design, you're only designing like stuff that's internal to the company, aren't you?
Exactly that, yeah. So you know, working for a design agency, every day is different, and every job's different. Whereas an internal designer, you are working, as exactly you just said, on the same brand. But what was interesting about that was the presentation documents. They always did it so it was the end client's branding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it still felt,
there was a bit of change.
It still felt different.
Yeah.
So I did really enjoy it, and as I said, the people at that company were incredible. Like probably the best people I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
It was like going into, it was like working with friends.
Yeah. That makes all the difference.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. So that was really, really good. And then, as I said, that went bust. And then moved back down to kind of like Lincoln area. Worked with a small design agency for a couple of years there. And then I kind of got to the point where it was like I was encroaching to the 30s era.
Right.
And I was like, I'm getting old. And
I'm getting old. Tom was just like, what are you on
I felt
about?
like I was getting old. I mean, I'd go back now in a heartbeat to that age, but I felt like I was getting old, and I kind of got to the point where it was like this dream of doing it myself is kind of now or never, because if I start getting into my 30s, you know, it's marriage, it's, you know, potentially kids and stuff like that. I'm not going to have the time to set up my own thing from scratch. I need to kind of go ahead and do it now. And talking about it now, it sounds dead easy to kind of like I just did that jump, but it wasn't like that at all. It was terrifying, and I needed a lot of convincing at the time from kind of like a support network around me. So parents, partner, close friends, they were all kind of like egging me on in a really supportive way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Just because I wouldn't stop talking about it. Every time like I saw them, I was like, I want to do this, but I'm scared. And they were like, just do it. Like, what is the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
So I did it eventually. And yeah, I'm so glad that I did.
Is it just a straight quit my job, start this own thing?
No. Well, yes, but what I did was, as I said, it was a long time coming, and I just put a little bit of money aside each month just to build a bit of a support fund, because it's one of those, as soon as you start, you're not going to have work day one. Just don't work like that. It'd be great if it did. So I had a little bit of support funds in the bank just to get me through. I think it was about 3 months. So if I said to myself, if I get no work, I can survive for 3 months. And luckily, after month one, work started coming in.
Oh, that's great.
And
Did you have a plan on how you was going to generate that work, or was it just like jump straight into the deep end and just see what you can do?
So I had a few connections from previous roles. So again, that interior fit out company, like I said, that went bust. So a lot of people went to different companies. So I had those connections there that I could, you know, tap into, and did. But a lot of it was kind of like on a hope and a prayer. What was great was that first month, I had to keep myself busy, because otherwise I would have gone insane, because it was literally like, what am I doing here? So I spent that month literally just creating content for LinkedIn, social media and stuff like that, and just banging it out every day. Not selly, just kind of like using myself as a bit of a soundboard for client work.
Yeah.
And going, oh, that'd be cool to do. Let's do it for myself. And just kept banging that out on LinkedIn, as well as getting in touch with people down this end. And that really, really worked.
Yeah.
To the point where people that I just didn't know, never heard of them before, were getting in contact with me.
That's great.
Saying, oh, I've seen this out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Looked really good.
Yeah.
So I felt like that went really, really well. And yeah, just kind of like built it from there.
That just shows the power of LinkedIn and stuff like that. Really.
It's mental. Like, you get told it and you're like, oh yeah, LinkedIn, it's just for like job updates and stuff like that. But it's genuinely not. Like, you can generate quite a lot of business from there. Yeah. But I think sometimes people go down a bit too kind of like hard sell. Whereas I think as long as you've got presence on there, and as long as you're like showing up on there 2-3 times a week, you got to think that's coming on people's feeds, and they will get familiar with you and your work. And then if they've got an opportunity there, hopefully they'll come to you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of power in authenticity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ollie did a post this week about seeing somebody else that had done something on AI, and it just immediately caught your eye for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the post that I put up, but someone had basically put up a post where there was talking about video editors, talking about the colour grading process and stuff like that. And they were saying, here's a piece of my work before I've graded it, and here's the piece of work after I graded it, and the screenshot was meant to look like a screenshot from like Premiere, what Tom's editing on currently.
Yeah.
And it was blatantly obvious that it was just AI. And it was like the UI on it was nowhere near the same as what it was on Premiere. And I'm looking at it like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're selling a service saying that you can do this, and that's the end result that you've got.
Yeah.
But you've just used AI.
Yeah,
so like, I
exactly,
just did a post, and I just kind of expressed my like pissed offedness at it, and like
beef.
people will relate to that, and because like lately I've just like taken the pressure off myself of just trying to think of like something worthwhile of putting on LinkedIn, and I've just been really laid back with it. Occasionally I'll do something that's more favoured towards trying to sell a little bit. For Hebb&Griff, but like nothing too hard salesy, and then I'm just like being myself on it.
Yeah,
and like you said, that's like the best way to be. It's your authenticity, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, I think people buy in, naturally kind of like relate to that and buy into that. And going back to the whole AI thing, I've seen similar to that, to the fact where I saw that there was a set of posts, and clearly, obviously I won't say any names, but like clearly she's not got.
Well, you've already gendered.
Yeah.
Clearly they've got.
I'll make sure I use they on my post. No, that's it.
Clearly they've not got kind of like access to a photographer, so they're kind of like creating AI photos of themselves, which is fine.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like, I think people buy from people.
Yeah,
and if you're going down that route, it almost feels like you're not human.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think especially when you're a small team or a one-man band such as yourself, for a long time you will be the brand.
Yeah,
like you're selling you essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, we've only just started to try and shift our branding away from us two.
Yeah,
for a long time it was just us two because that's all it was. But now, because the company's growing a little bit, we're trying to.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it more of a team thing.
Yeah,
like we're including more of Tom, we're including more of Laura, our marketer.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make Hebb&Griff a company.
Yeah. And it's like, from an outsider looking in, it's absolutely working. Like the stuff that you guys are putting out recently definitely shows that kind of like progression. So it's really great to see.
You can come on this podcast, mate.
I was hoping the Black Lab would be here.
No, you don't want him here, just bark your head off. So how do you find it working as a one-man band? Like, is it tricky?
So, funnily enough, we've got a core team of 3.
Oh, okay.
So myself, another junior designer, and a web developer.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Was that from the start? Or was it just
no. This is fairly recently, but we all work remotely because that's how I wanted to set up the business from the very start. So we've got a core team of 3, and that core team of 3 is involved in every project moving forward. But then also what we've got then is we've got kind of like a talent pool of subcontractors almost that we kind of can lean on as and when we need them. So, for example, say if we had a job come in. Prime scenario, I think 2 weeks ago, we had a job come in from a new client, and they wanted kind of like a brochure style printed document. But within that, they wanted really kind of bespoke illustrations, the kind of like watercolor Peter Rabbit kind of style.
Cool. Right.
Yeah. So we don't have illustrators in the core team, but we do have them within the talent pool around the core team. So we go to the illustrators. We've got 3 illustrators on the books, all with kind of like slightly different styles. So Lauren, who's working on it now, has kind of like that watercolor style for those illustrations. And just start this week, Monday, she sent them over, looked amazing. We sent them on to the client. They're really, really happy with them. So that particular job, we've kind of got the core team of the graphic designers working on the brochure, and we've got Lauren working on the illustrations for us. So that's how that works. And that kind of works really, really well for the end client as well. because it allows them to have the absolute best people working on their job, because we kind of like cherry pick it. Now, you say that job then landed in kind of like your normal scenario agency. Say they've got an illustrator in-house. Or no, say they probably wouldn't have an illustrator in-house. Say they've got like a team of designers and they go, right, Dave, you're quite good at drawing, aren't you? Can you have a go at these illustrations? He'd probably have a go at them. He wouldn't feel comfortable because he's kind of like being put in a scenario where he doesn't really, he doesn't really do, it's not really his kind of like skill set, but you're trying to almost like fit a round peg into a square hole kind of thing. And that's kind of like how we differentiate ourselves, in the fact that we're building the best possible team around your project. And it just means that the end product is just so much better as well.
I love that collaboration aspect.
Yeah.
And in all kind of creative industries, I love seeing people collaborate.
Yeah.
We're going to have the chance to collaborate soon,
Absolutely.
which is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And we love collaborating with it. Even bringing Tom in to do some editing for us. He has a different approach to some stuff and he has different ideas that we might not have.
Yeah.
So it's really changed the way some of our videos look as an end result. So yeah, having somebody else looking at your illustrations and stuff, it just makes sense. Like
Definitely.
giving it to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. You don't know and you can't do everything. So pulling people in that have that skill set is amazing. And it's one of those like that kind of like talent pool that I was talking about. We're not just kind of like find them on like Fiverr and stuff like that. We're vetting them, and we're interviewing them and making sure that we can work with them, but also as much in the fact that they can work with us and they like working with us, because it goes back to what we were saying earlier about it makes such a difference liking the people that you work with. So that's like a massive factor, and we're really, really fortunate for the fact that as a big collective group, we get on with everyone. I mean,
that's good.
There was one scenario where we just, in the very early days, we collaborated with someone, we just didn't gel with them, and they didn't gel with us as well, and that's absolutely fine. And after that first job, we had to part ways because it just didn't click. They were incredible at what they did, but there was just it didn't quite.
Bit of a disconnect with
communication.
communication.
It does make a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're quite lucky, I think. I don't think we've really worked with anybody that we've not seen eye to eye with for any reason.
No.
You've got to get on with the people you work with.
100%.
I think that's the reason why we've started Hebb&Griff, is because we didn't like the people that we worked with before.
Yeah.
I think, even though these other people that you don't really like have officially on your team, you're almost finding people that you would have on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important. What's the long-term plan for PWF Studio then?
That's a great question.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? To be honest,
On a beach.
yeah, I mean that would be incredible. Yeah, on a beach sipping a cocktail. I don't look. This might be wrong. I don't look too far ahead.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't do that is because I think if you look too far ahead, you can almost take your eye off the here and now.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's the here and now that's going to get you to where you want to be anyway. So I think as long as you're focusing on the here and now, you can't go too far wrong. And the here and now is essentially doing really good creative work for really nice people. And as long as we're doing that, I think whatever's in the future will be a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's how we kind of like work our day to day.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't put too much pressure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, I've always been one for. I mean, never say never, but I've never kind of wanted an office as such, and kind of like people having to come into the office every day. Because that, again, that's kind of like why I wanted to start my own agency, because that's what I wanted. Because prior to that, I was taking my laptop from home, getting in a car, driving an hour to an office, getting my laptop out of the bag, setting it up, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I can do exactly this at home.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I fully respected it at the time, but I just couldn't get my head around it. So yeah, I never wanted that, and I don't think I'd ever want that. Because I think people work best in their own kind of like environments and stuff. I definitely do.
Are you comfortable with just being like just knuckling down on your own? Like,
absolutely, yeah, and like I don't have to kind of like physically see people working. Like as long as the deadlines are hit and stuff like that, that's all that matters.
I think that's like essentially how we think. But like I think I'm the opposite. That I like to work with people. Yeah. Like not necessarily that I want to know that like work's getting done.
Yeah. I
like to be surrounded by people.
Yeah.
I like to be able to like bounce ideas off each other.
100%.
That's why I like always come into the office.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm here on my own because you like working at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I've got a commute.
Like I like the separation from work and home, and then like being with the team. It's just I think that inspires me.
Yeah. 100%.
But like people work completely different. Like you're the opposite.
Yeah.
You're fine with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. And exactly what we've just said there. I think everyone works different, and it's finding how that individual works best, and then creating an environment for that person. Yeah.
Yeah. Empowering people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah. No, 100%.
So I'm going to move on to AI.
Okay.
Have you noticed an increase? I know you've seen it on LinkedIn, but have you actually seen it in design work as well, where people are using it more or relying on it more?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say that I have. I think as an agency, we've utilised it more, especially within kind of like the last 12 months, because it's just growing at a rapid rate. And I think if you don't, you're just going to get left behind.
How are you using it?
So in terms of kind of like, for me, in its current stage, AI can't design to the level that a human can. But what it can do is that kind of like very, very high level conceptual mood board kind of style work. It has got kind of like a place at the table for that. And we do utilize it in certain aspects to that. Or, you know, if you need to kind of like, if you've got an idea in your head, as opposed to kind of like getting a sketchbook out and sketching it out, you could just write a prompt and say, look, this is what I'm thinking, just give me like a rough idea. And it would be a very, very rough idea, but it is just as much as a sketch would in your sketchbouk.
It's almost like you go into like a designer or an illustrator and asking them to create a mock-up for you.
Yeah.
It's still your idea.
Exactly that, yeah. So that kind of level, we certainly utilise. In terms of kind of like other people using it outside of the agency, we have noticed that kind of like, especially with like branding, what we've come up against is, so we would quote for a branding project, and the client could go, oh well, I can just get AI to create me that, and it's like, yeah, you can. It'll be crap. Yeah. It won't do anything for you. So we have come across that now and again, which is a bit of a challenge. But that's no different from kind of like, oh, we can create that on Canva, or you know, create that on whatever. Yeah. Or we can get a designer on Fiverr for that. You absolutely can, like, and we're not stopping you from doing that. But the return on investment will be nowhere near kind of like what we could get you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot more to. This sounds a bit weird. Like, there's a lot more magic in going to a designer, talking to them about your company, telling them what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And then the designer goes away and comes back with a bespoke logo or branding kit for your company.
100%.
And that's been tailored to you and it's special to you, unique to you.
Yeah.
I would say there's a lot more in that still at the minute. But are you worried that in the future graphic designers are going to start to move towards obsolescence, or do you think there's always going to be a need?
I worry about everything. I'm a worrier. I think it's always potentially on the table. I mean, when we say AI, naturally we all kind of like jump to ChatGPT because it's in your pocket. Everyone's on it. But outside of that, obviously, there's like proper AI models being created by absolute geniuses.
Have you seen some of the video models?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And I think that element of AI could absolutely break into, graphic design. It could break into medical, doctors and stuff like that. There's so many white collar jobs that it could just wipe out. My kind of like reassurance is the fact that if it's going to wipe out one, it's probably going to wipe out all sectors or a hell of a lot of sectors. In which case,
so everyone's going to be in the same.
We're
boat.
all in the same boat.
We're all fucked.
We'll all be down at the job centre.
I'll try to cheer it up a bit. My prediction is that it's going to go a bit Blade Runner. I don't know if you know the Blade Runner story, but basically animals are going extinct. So to own an animal, it's seen as like a symbol of wealth, to own a real life animal, whether it's a sheep or a giraffe or whatever it is. Because there's a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of android animals and what have you. So I think what's probably going to happen is we're going to have this influx of AI film, AI design, and it's just going to increase the price of designers. Because it's like, well, everybody can do that, but if you want something truly unique and truly bespoke,
Love that.
We're going to make it handcrafted for you.
That's great.
Yeah. That is absolutely hit the nail on the head, I think, because, you're completely right. I mean, goes back to what we were saying earlier. People buy from people. They want that kind of like human experience.
You can't replicate that sat-down conversation with someone.
Exactly that. And I think you're completely right, actually, because, going back to what we've already seen over the past couple of years is ChatGPT has taken reign on kind of like LinkedIn posts. So people go to ChatGPT and they go, write me a LinkedIn post around this subject, put it out. And I'm sure you guys have, you know straight away if it's been written on chat.
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
We
all did.
And I did it for a week. And I was like,
yeah.
And I thought I was doing well because I was like, right, I'll get it to ask me questions and then I'll answer these questions. And then every answer will be exactly what I would do. And then I might change a couple of the words.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's still like, I look at it and I'm like, it's still not me.
It's not me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you people can tell. And what happens is you see that on your feed and you go, that was written by chat, and you scroll back. You don't engage with it because you've seen it a million times before. And I think that, as you were saying, that is going to be the thing with AI, because it is just churning out the same thing for everyone.
Yeah.
And the only way that you're going to get a differential on everyone else is if you come away from it and create your own content, or go to your own design agency, or go to your own video company. And we're starting to see now that people are cottoning on to that. And when chat first came in, everyone was like, copywriters, they're screwed. I don't need copywriters anymore. But now people are starting to go full circle and now going back to copywriters to get that edge and get that differential amongst everyone else. So
it's like when we can mass produce wallets. Yeah. All it's going to mean is that the handcrafted wallet made by a leather worker somewhere in the countryside is going to be so much more special to that one person.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to think that's the way it's going to go, especially with creative stuff. I think with more systemized things, HR, legal, accountancy, that's going to probably be heavily AI produced.
Yeah.
I know that we've been using it a lot at the minute to focus on like actual like business management and how we run our business. It's given us a lot of ideas and practices that we can do.
Spreadsheets,
love a spreadsheet. But yeah, I think creative wise, there's always going to be a strong desire for that unique thing that one person can produce.
Yeah, definitely. It's a much better answer than I gave. We're all screwed.
I mean, that can still happen.
You've got a new answer to give now.
I think we're all screwed if AI becomes the Terminator.
Yeah.
But that's everybody screwed then. So
yeah, exactly.
Right, looking at the last 12 months then, what would you say has been your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge? Well, I'm gonna swerve the question slightly.
All right.
So our challenges every day are our clients' challenges, because that's essentially what we do. We solve our clients' problems or challenges. So that's what we face daily. In terms of solving their problems, essentially. So over the last, I think it was about 12 months, we had a client come to us, and they were in the CBD industry. So they did like CBD products, CBD balms, gels, and stuff like that. But what happened? What had happened was, they had a great brand, great product, great ethos, but they'd hit the market really, really late, and it was really, really saturated. You imagine, what was it back in like 2020? Everyone was
CBD's been around for a long time.
Yeah, and they were just setting out, and they were really struggling to get investments, because everyone was like, what sets you apart from the thousands of others that are doing it? So they came to us with that challenge that they just felt was impossible to resolve. So we went in, and we went into their offices, and we worked with them for 2 weeks. Learned about them, learned about the product, learned about the ethos, learned about their customers. And from those findings and from that data, we essentially rebuilt their presentation decks from the ground up, completely rewrote the script, really nicely designed, but also kind of like the content was right for the investors, and they took those decks, and they went into their investment meetings, and they presented to, let me get this right, 5 investors, first time they used these decks, 4 of which invested in them.
Wow.
And they're now stocked in Selfridges stores up and down the country. And as of, I think, December last year, they're breaking now into the European market.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
So I know it's not quite the answer to your question, but that was a challenge that kind of like came into the studio, that we then applied a creative solution to that challenge. And that is essentially what we do.
What a testament to graphic design.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah. So
what says more like you need to have good branding and good design than that success story.
100%. Yeah. And yeah, we're really proud of that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I really think I've always put a lot of emphasis on like good design. I mean, I have a design background.
Yeah.
So anything that we do in house for Hebb&Griff, I try to make look good, because if you're showing somebody, like my notes, if you're showing somebody like a crappy sheet of paper like that, it's not that impressive. But if you're showing them something that I probably should have done, which is like really nicely designed, they're immediately going to be more impressed, and they probably don't even have to read what's on it.
100%. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. And just wish more people knew that.
I know, yeah, and it's educating people on that, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
100%.
Well, convincing them or persuading them
Yeah.
that is the case. I mean, in my previous job, it was always a case of don't send that to somebody because that looks rubbish.
Yeah.
Let's make it look nice before we send it to them.
Definitely. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, and it's like it makes it more digestible as well.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a lengthy document or whatever it is. Yeah, for
100%.
sure. I want to go back a little bit, just because you spoke about being an apprentice when you started out. One thing that we've always talked about is how it's not always the best route to go to university to get a degree. How did you find it being a design apprentice as opposed to, I mean, I suppose you won't know so much, but do you feel like that was definitely the right route to take to get into the design? And would you encourage other people to do that?
Personally, just on my personal experiences, I would absolutely encourage people. If it depends, obviously, like what if you're a doctor, you need those qualifications. So you need to go to uni.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt like I needed hands-on experience as opposed to kind of like a qualification written on a piece of paper. Also, I kind of like looked out on my GCSEs. So to the point where I kind of got my results and I thought I'd got someone else's because I was like, what? So I kind of felt like I'd got a little bit lucky with them, and I kind of felt like my luck was eventually going to run out. So I went to sixth form college after I got my GCSEs for 2 weeks. And I was just like, this is not for me. Like, because how that worked was it worked on like a point system. So you had to do kind of like certain classes to get the points, one of which was graphic design. The other 9 were like law and psychology, just things that I wasn't interested in at all. So loved the graphic design bit, but then the rest of the week was just stuff that I just didn't. Yeah,
and then would you fail if you?
Oh yeah,
didn't succeed?
Absolutely, yeah. So I kind of learnt within that first 2 weeks that I was just like, this is not for me. Turning the clock back, I had a 2-week work experience whenever work experience is, 15, something like that. At a design agency. So I basically I took the initiative to kind of like print out all the paperwork for the apprenticeship. Literally filled it all out. All the business owner of the design agency had to do was just sign on the dotted line saying, yes, I will do this for you. I took it into her, and thankfully she signed it, and then started my apprenticeship there. And what I learned through that apprenticeship was literally just set the path for me. And I'm so grateful for the fact that was there for a start, that this design agency trusted in me to give me that opportunity. And also the people that pushed me down that route, because, you know, again, going back to my parents, they knew kind of like, funnily enough, I came home after that 2 weeks from school, from sixth form, and I said to my mum and dad, I was like, this just isn't, I'm not enjoying it, it's not for me. And they were like, yeah, we know, like this you need to go down the apprenticeship route. And they kind of like guided me down that route a little bit. So I'm really grateful for them as well. Yeah. And yeah, for me, that was definitely the right route to go down. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discourse at the minute about university, especially like the fees, and whether it's necessary or not. And I think the realisation that we've come to is that you just go and work in the industry that you want to work in.
Yeah.
Like you say, you want to be a mathematician, you want to be a doctor, teacher, whatever it is. Like, you probably need to get those qualifications.
Yeah, exactly.
You do need to get those qualifications. There's no two ways about that. But
who wants to be a mathematician? What?
That's what ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think for creatives, I'm completely for just going and getting that work experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to uni.
Yeah.
And it was a good experience, but it's not something that I've kind of like taken a lot from.
No.
And I wish I'd just gone and worked in the film industry or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just done what I sort of enjoyed doing.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I potentially missed out on was that social aspect of going out, meeting new people and stuff like that. But
that's what I mean about the experience. Like, that part of it was great. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Made friends for life.
Yeah,
and I, learned a lot of independence as well, which is great. But yeah, educationally wise, I don't think I took a lot from it. Part of that's just me. Yeah, because I wasn't like the hardest worker there. Yeah, because I was enjoying the experience too much. Probably.
That's it. But I think these types of roles, they are so hands on. You know, you need that experience, that hands on experience. And I don't know what a graphic design university course looks like, but I don't think you can learn this from like reading a textbook or doing coursework and stuff like that. I think you need that hands-on experience. Unless
it's changed, it would be like you'd get a brief for like a 3-month period, and you just work and like.
So it's like you're actually working.
Yeah, but
on the clients.
That's not like totally realistic, because you'd have like 10 briefs over a 3-month period. Yeah, in a full job. Yeah. Unless you're like a super expensive agency and you could just afford to do one at a time. Yeah. It almost didn't give you the pressures as much. Yeah.
And then you get used to that, those deadlines spanned over a 3-month period. You land your first role straight out of university. Yeah. And you're like, right,
fuck,
turn that around in 10 days, mate.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But then an apprenticeship, rather than you're not paying £9,000 a year to learn to do that, you're learning to do it and you're getting paid for it. Yeah. So I just think it's a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
But if you want to go to university, go to university. Don't take my word for it. Okay, last question then. If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
It would be the same advice that I'd give myself now and my future self, because I never take it. It would be stop worrying. As I said earlier, I'm naturally a worrier. I'm constantly worrying about everything. It sounds really depressing, but it's not. I'm just naturally a worrier, and I think what I've found since starting my own agency is it will all work out. As long as you're doing all you can, as long as you're giving 110% every day, it will all fall into place. Yeah. Like just don't worry about what you can't control, because you can't control it. Just show up every day, do your very, very best, and it will work out.
Do you know how I can tell you're a warrior? Because you sign every email with, as always, if there's any questions, let me know. Yeah. Without fail.
As always, any problems or questions, please do let me know. Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I do. And it's just built into me, unfortunately. And then when people are like, stop worrying. It's like, I wish I could.
It's easier said than done. Yeah.
I think it comes off as polite, though, don't worry. It's not like, I'm only saying it because you've told me now that you're worried. And I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense.
But yeah, no, that'd be my advice.
Yeah, that's great. Love it.
Good. Yeah.
Great. Thanks for going on, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. Appreciate it.
How can people find you?
Sorry?
How can people find you?
So LinkedIn, James Berridge, PWFstudio.com. I'm on Instagram as well. So yeah, just any of the socials really.
Nice one.
Check him out.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.